want to keep this session as casual as possible. If you have a question, please, there's no such thing as a stupid question, just raise your hand. I would love to answer any of your questions. Some of this stuff may seem confusing. What I've been doing, at times going into it, I did not also know where it would lead me. I created certain businesses which I thought the market had a void, and I just went with it. The most important is to go do it. And if you try, at least you tried. That's very, very important. At least you try, and then you know it for yourself firsthand, whether it works or it doesn't work. Okay, so a little bit about me. I started F&B, like Arthur said, 7 years ago. I worked in advertising. I was an account director. I just wanted to create more. I just wanted my ideas to see the light of day. I was getting a bit frustrated with trying and getting all these hurdles in the way. There would be someone who would always tell you, oh, you can't do it, and stuff like that. So I started a bar. The first bar I started was Tom, Dick and Harry's. I named it, designed it, and I ran it. I went to work at 9 a.m. At 5 o'clock, I sneak out, I go to the bar. I live in Tamantun. My parents are from Tamantun. So if me and my 5 friends put 50,000 ringgit of savings together, no one was going to loan us money for this idea, so we put our pool of money together and we opened a bar. We actually did not know where it would go, but the brotherhood, the friendship, we were like, let's just do this. What's the worst can happen? After 18 months, I managed to sell the business as a franchise, so they could go open more. Tom, Dick and Harry's was, like Dato' rightfully said, I like to think it's ideation, and I'm in the business of ideation. It is not just a bar. Tom, Dick and Harry's means for any Tom, Dick and Harry. Are you all familiar with the saying? Yes. Yeah, so it's for anyone. We even let pets in there. Pets were allowed to go in. You can. In the morning, we open at 9 for brunch on Saturday. You can, if your doggy is well behaved. If not, he gets kicked out. So it's ideation. It's not just a bar. It's a place where you go, everyone's very friendly, the spirit is good. We created a fun run. Who says a pub can't have a fun run? We got up to 100 people register monthly. They run from the pub, and it becomes a community around Tamantun. So someone may say, you're a bit crazy, why is a pub having a run? Isn't that contradictory? You're selling alcohol and and then you want someone to run, but it's creating a culture, it's creating a niche group of people around this neighborhood who like such activities. So moving on, we then ventured, you notice the started to come in. So the company's called The Group. So we have the hill, the pool, the roof. So this is the hill in Damansara Heights. It is a beer garden, dining room, and a lounge. So we went from one room, one space, to using 3 different spaces in one business. A little bit of something for everyone at different times of the day. I believe this is where I met you.
Yes.
Correct? Years ago.
New Year's Eve.
That's right. Then we went to the pool.
Very literal.
Very literal, that's right. Malaysia is all about literal. This was in the era when there was the library. And that was the buzzword. It was made to look like a library. And you'd think, why would you call it a library? You're going there to have fun, libraries, you got to be really quiet. So we took a Papa Rich. It was Papa Rich on Jalan Ampang. And we were approached to create more vibrancy, to get, it's called a destination. What we do is destination outlets. We're not smack in a mall with a lot of foot traffic and eyeballs. We are a destination. We pull hundreds and thousands of people to come and have a great experience up on a hill, up on a roof. We gotta believe you can do it. There's a saying, if you build it, they will come. And then we go to that, if you build it, they will come. And sometimes we challenge ourselves to do that. So we created a concept like no other in Malaysia at the time. You might get something familiar in Bali or Phuket, but nothing in Malaysia. So we ran this business for about 18 months. It is now been, it's closed now. And a bit more about food. We did something called an experimental Japanese restaurant. It's called Kyoto Lab. Lab as in laboratory. It's not just about drinks, it's also about food. It's experimental food. It was something new. The Malaysians not necessarily were open to very fusion experimental food, but we did it. We won awards for it. So it was good. We opened something called China Black. China Black was an after-hours club. We saw a void in the market that needed Party Central from late. We did it. We have the roof, for those who have been there. 6 entertainment outlets in one. 6 entertainment F&B outlets of different natures, targeting different people. You know, you can have a sports bar for the evening happy hour from the office. You can have a premium dining restaurant for dinner time, it's really busy. You can have a club that's strong on the weekend. Helipad on, we turned a champagne bar, a helipad into a champagne bar. We have a steamboat restaurant concept. It's from Shenzhen, the idea. It's coconut water broth steamboat, full of electrolytes, with fresh produce in the cigar lounge. Got in excess of 150 staff. So what Dato is saying is absolutely right. We do have jobs. We do have a lot of jobs available for the right people. We use a lot of foreign labor. We use a lot of foreign labor, but why should we when we can use our local homegrown talent? Why can't we use the local homegrown talent who are definitely capable? Not just about nightlife, F&B, entertainment. 14 months ago, we set up the #1 cold pressed juice company. We won an award for the #1 cold pressed juice. Cold pressing is a method to use no heating element when you juice. So when you use a blade, use a blender, you're killing nutrients. You're killing nutrients with the heating process. This is literally machines that press the fruit. That's it. Lightly cut fruit into bags and pressed, and you extract more juice. People use it for cleanse purposes. You can do a 1-day or 3-day cleanse for juice. Cleanse means you only drink juice, 6 juices a day, 18 juices in 3 days, you don't eat. Don't worry, there's nut milks for your protein, there's your vitamins, everything. And you cleanse your body from all the bad things. Smoking, excessive drinking, bad pollution, whatever. And it's good. People use it for weight loss. Yeah, please. No, go ahead. Yeah. We saw a trend, very popular in the US, LA, Beverly Hills, London. This is not to be confused with your Boost Juice and Juice Works. Without knocking them too hard, they put vanilla ice cream, they put pasteurized juice as their base. Pasteurized juice is something that you can keep in your bottle for 2 years because there's added preservatives, coloring, things that your body don't break down easily. Food and fruit, vegetable in its most natural form is what your body can break down. I'll speak briefly about men's health and how I did 100 days to look like that. And I don't look like that anymore. But it's because you eat the food and vegetable in its most natural form. We don't add water, sugar, nothing in our juice. Preservatives, color. So we saw this trend from the West, and we knew it's going to come and hit us. It's just like the coffee culture, from going from Starbucks versus niche coffee, artisan roasters. People are doing it right with passion and love. So we press this juice in our factory. We then send it to gardens, One Utama, we send it to where we have to send it. It has a shelf life of 36 hours. That is it. It's pressure sealed, and you must consume it within 36 hours. Why? Because there's no preservative. So with that is a trend that we spotted, but we didn't sit down doing nothing. We bought a whole bunch of bottles from China. We created a brand of our own. We designed it. We got in a room, me and my two partners, and we started drinking juice. It started from a hobby of juicing ourselves. We had small machines, not the industrial grade machines, we had smaller machines. And we press juice every morning and we drink. 500 ml of vegetable juice, helps regulate your system. And after a while, that hobby became a business. It's like me being a bartender, and I love being a bartender mixing drinks, and I was like, okay, make a business out of it. So that's what we did. Our number one competitor is La Juiceria. There's two major players in this game, don't confuse us with them. They're Life Juice. Expanding up, we'll have 10 stores by the end of this year, and we would open 8 to 10 stores every year. Expanding into other states as well. So if you all want to work in a healthy environment and learn about what's good for you, this is an option. One of my biggest passions, my joy, is to play football. I play social soccer. I love playing football. And I think the most important, when you have a passion and a drive, you don't stop thinking about it. You don't stop thinking about it when you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning. So that's what drove me to build the new camp. If you any football fans? Do you know the new camp? No. Do you understand? So okay, there's a team called FC Barcelona. Lionel Messi plays for them. Their home ground is called the new camp, but not THE. So with my the hill, the pool, the roof, I named it the new camp. So that's a play with word. It is a 3.5 acre spot. That's actually taken by my iPhone from the apartment. It's in Bandar Utama, in front of the British International School. You're welcome to come and play football there. Join my team. Again, it's about reacting fast. British International School is the most expensive international school right now, officially, and they didn't have enough land facility for their secondary. So I approached the landowner and I said, okay. And then I took an artist impression to the principal of BIS and I said, would you like this in front of you? And we agreed. So he uses this facility, BIS uses this facility every morning on a contract for 6 years. What I'm trying to say is that you can create that demand. You can go and build something when you think there's a demand in the market. You hear what I'm saying? We'll watch trends. This is a plastic field. This is AstroTurf. Rain or shine, you play. Singapore's National League runs on AstroTurf. They're very smart out there. You can play under any weather. It's the drainage system. Their National League runs, their universities and all, when they build fields, they build this, the maintenance is lower. The water that goes in, gets thrown underground to the left and the right, and it clears off. The sun is very, in Malaysia right now, the sun is really harsh. The rain is crazy, it's really heavy, like we've not seen before. But we can still go ahead and play. So it's AstroTurf. With that, we created a boxing studio, yoga, a few other supplementary businesses to support this 3.5 acre complex. I didn't give up. I tried in the sports ministry. I lobbied. I always wanted to have a field. I find a piece of land and I went to them. There was so much red tape. They would always tell me no, no, no. Oh, this and that, and I won't even go into the political side of things. I got fed up. Yeah, I can go on and on about how difficult they make it for you to run a business. But that's it. It's the suburbs around are enjoying it. Playing football, bringing up the quality of the game. So these are a few things that I do. I do it out of passion. I like the business side of it. You have any questions? Jump in, please. Yeah.
How long do you take to go past all that red tape?
Red tape?
Yeah.
It's forever red tape. It's still red tape right now.
Then how is it still there?
I think, put red tape aside, anything in life, there's going to be hurdles. No matter what, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But live for today, just go with it, and then when life throws you this sucker punch, then you just deal with it. We've had all kinds of issues. At the pool, I got handcuffed and taken away by Jais. Jais were throwing. I made the front page. My business made the front page of Harian Metro. It was during the election, and the political party was trying to pin someone for that area, not taking care of what's happening in their backyard. So they labeled my business as, like, I don't know if I can say it, like an orgy, like it's something like a sex party. It's not. I mean, sorry, I'm going to use this kind of word. It's not. It's everyone just having fun. You enter at your own risk. You drink at your own risk. You respect your religion. You do whatever you want to do. There were people partying, and I got handcuffed. I got taken away. I was okay. I was still smiling. Dealt with it. Got my lawyer to get me out. My mom was freaking out. But it happens. It happens, right? The roof is 52,000 square feet. When you went up there, there's no ceiling. If you're not a positive person, you would go there and turn around and say, I'm not doing this. I can't do this. It's too big for me. It's 52,000 square feet, but you gotta breathe and say, okay, find the right person to help you. What you don't know, okay, what I don't know, I pay someone to do for me, but like, learn, get the right people involved. I don't think I know everything, I'm still learning. I have general managers, I have operation managers, human resource director. I don't know all of it. You should never be too proud to think that it's your way or the highway. It's just no, if someone's got a better idea, they've been doing it for a long time. I'm 34. How wise can I really be compared to my human resource director, my finance director? So you gotta be humble sometimes and say, hey, you know better. Teach me, please, you know? So yeah, to answer your question in a roundabout way, there will be red tape. You don't know. You learn on the fly. You don't necessarily know when you open a business what licenses you need, what issues will come your way. People are not receptive to change. There's going to be complaints. There will always be someone complaining about what you're doing. You know? So you just deal with it every day in a logical way. Seek help. It's okay. We're not supposed to know how everything pans out in life, really. I'm quite sure. There's no fun in that. Take it every day and then you learn. Right? I don't know your names, that's the thing. You know name tags, huh?
They don't wear them when they're supposed to.
I try to remember your
They
names.
like to bring the serious, you know. It adds to their value, this mystery element.
Fair enough.
Alright, ask questions, folks.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's really fun. One of the best days in my life is when I had the pleasure of having dinner with David Beckham. I am a Manchester United fan anymore. Yes? Good man. Yes? You guys have a good future. Singham as well. Your son-in-law as well.
Too bad I'm an Arsenal.
Oh, no. You might win the FA Cup. You might win the FA Cup. But dreams come true. I had dinner with David Beckham. And I'm not throwing it up there to boast, but I'm just trying to say that these little things where it may not mean a lot to a lot of people. I came home and I told my mom I had dinner with David Beckham. She's like, it's not the Prime Minister or the Queen or something like that. But I love football and that was a joy for me. So I don't know where this will lead me. I met him on the fact that Hague Club is a single grain whiskey and my entertainment group is the largest mover of Hague Club whiskey, and I had that pleasure. So I'm just saying, you never know what leads you where. How is it possible I started selling so much of a product and I had the pleasure of meeting my idol? You know, this is the guy who would change his haircut and the whole world would follow. This is a guy who would put a 23 on the back of the jersey and every team now has a 23. It's just a famous number all of a sudden. Alright? He's the guy who's hated for a red card tackle. Next he hits a free kick and they're in the World Cup again and everyone loves him. So that's David Beckham. Questions? Go.
Are you working on any projects currently? F&B?
I am working on 2 projects. In Jakarta, there's a big shopping mall, very trendy, hip mall called this, that we are going into F&B. We're going to have the anchor lot of F&B in Indonesia, and we will operate the entertainment section of that. I know this is too heavy, but I'll just say that I'm a wee bit nervous about the Malaysian economy. The whole GST rocks people. The economy is a bit, yeah, a little bit. Spending's a bit down. I don't wish to expand further in F&B for Malaysia for now, but move to our neighboring countries. Jakarta for now. I'm also working on a separate health and well-being project, but I can't exactly reveal too much about it yet. But I'd love to come back and tell you about it and see if anyone's interested. Anyone tried to work in F&B here? Applied to an F&B operator? Who do you apply to? Commerce in the kitchen, which kitchen?
Banquet.
Franchise called Bati Kopitiam.
Oh, okay. And how did that go?
Good.
Okay. But you have professional training in cooking? Or they give?
From ground zero.
Yeah. You should come and see our kitchen. It's equipped with a cold room, your combi ovens, double story, larger than this room. You should come and see how it runs. Please take up.
You two should talk up.
Yeah, please take up this opportunity.
She's very bright and she's one of our star performers in the room. You really should talk.
Please come, have a look. It's a bit like Hell's Kitchen. It's a bit like Hell's Kitchen. There's a lot of shouting for no reason. I'm confused why they're shouting the orders. They're like army officers. Yes, chef. Especially when I'm around, they're like, you know, they want to show. Yes, chef. I got you, chef. You have 2 minutes, chef. So Gordon Ramsay, you liar. You don't work like that when I'm not around. But it's fun. There's an Asian section, Western section, grill section. It's all broken down, and I'll explain to you. I'll explain to you the business side of it. Please come up there. From the minute the order is taken, how the timing for the first, second course comes. What are the special requests when it goes on a certain dish, all the way to how the docket, the food is made and delivered. There's a runner. There's a runner who maybe is not so fluent in English, but his job, we still give him a job. His job is to get the food to the table, but he cannot actually serve the food because he may not have taken the order. If I took your order, sir, I know you're having the salmon and you're having the steak, so I know how to deliver that. So it's a little bit of like, he just gets it to a station and then the person delivers it. Things like that. So there's a few things you need to learn on the fly.
There was others as well, right? F&B, who else?
Anyone else F&B?
Somebody else put up their hand besides Allah.
Where do you work?
Huh?
Where did you work?
Yeah.
It's a bright spark, you know, Roen.
Yeah.
He should come and talk to you.
Bright spark.
Where did you work?
Question.
In F&B?
That was
Yeah.
No, where did you work in F&B?
F&B. I once worked at the hotel, Pahang Zenith Hotel, and
Okay.
I do the banquet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But actually, I love to work to be in the crowd. Work.
Okay.
I love to see them
Be on the
happy
floor.
when they eat, and I love
Yeah.
food. So
Totally. That's right. Sometimes you get great joy when you do these businesses. The joy is just when you see people having a good time. When you see people enjoying themselves and you're a part of it. You were a part of that, running this engine to make sure everything's smooth and everyone's just having a good time. Anything? Go ahead. Any questions? Yeah.
You have to deal with a lot of people. What would you feel is the best way to deal with
Difficult people. I guess it's on a case-to-case basis.
Gordon Ramsay approach?
Yeah, you're right. I'm generally quite a calm person, so I try to understand that person's thinking. Like, why is that person thinking like that? It's very easy to go and say, "Oh, yeah, stupid lah, that guy. Yeah, stupid." But obviously for him it's not stupid, and try to understand the logic. So you take time to do that, and then just work your way around it. I try not to do the Gordon Ramsay way, because I think that's reality TV. But what is reality is I don't like to let any of my subordinates, my people, see that. I should not let them see that I'm losing my cool. So much so I had businesses shut down, but I'm still going to have a smile on my face on the day my business is going to get shut down, for example. If you decided to be the front, if you decided to lead, you have to portray that it's positive and everything's going to be good, no matter what. If your staff lose their confidence in you, that's a big problem, because they're going to look at you like, we're in trouble, so you can't. Try your level best not to. And plus, yelling doesn't really help much. It doesn't really solve the problem, nor does violence. But it's a lot. Your question is spot on, because it's a people business. A lot of people. There's always. It's a difficult business, F&B. I tell you, the most difficult part, in all honesty, is that you don't know what happened for this person's day between 9 to 5. You don't know the troubles he's been having, whatever issues he's having. When he comes to an outlet, he releases it. I've got people yell at foreign labor for no reason. One of my staff from Bangladesh, buddy, bought a drink. Hey bro, I bought for you one more drink, bro. 4-letter word. Am I your bro? Why? You're my friend. Started shouting at him. That's just something where he had some pent-up anger in him for some other reason, and this is the avenue. It's a problem. You need to be well trained, handle situations. You just yell at someone because they're a foreigner, made a little mistake, spilled the glass, whatever. It's not cool. But F&B is not easy. I'm just saying, but we're still going to do it. It's not easy because they come out and then they yell. They think customer's always right. There's so much about this customer always right thing. What about, being a human? And it's not fair because we're not in a tips market. You notice that? The US is mandatory tips, Europe tips. We're not so much in a tip market, then what are you expecting? So it's not easy, it's people. Anywhere from the customer to the people you work with, different tiers of it. But it's fun. Would I rather sit behind a desk? No. It's not it for me. Even in advertising, I was a suit, suits like client servicing. I would be the in-between person with the client and the agency. So I got to move around. I like to think I'm quite a good people person. You have to find those strengths in yourself. Like what you said. What's your name? Firdaus, like you said, you like to be a people person. If that's what you like, go garner that skill of being social.
Yes.
You know, confident, and then you can speak to everyone. You're the go-to guy. You'd be surprised when you walk into a restaurant or a bar or a club, you would be able to spot the guy who runs the show. If not, he has failed. You should be able to spot the manager. He has a certain way of walking, dressing, talking. That is your guy, because he's the go-to guy. If I go to a familiar place, I must have a go-to guy. Hey bro, can you do it for me? I do it for you. I get discount for you. I want this table. I do it for you. That becomes value, because you're a solution guy. You can get things done. It's about doing, right? So yeah, find that strength, right? What you're good at. Questions over here? Quiet bunch. All the good kids sit in the front of the class. All the good students. A lot of the times I was outside.
Actually, Jenny swapped these backbenchers here were all in the front in the morning, and they were the ones asking all the questions, interactions. And then these two tables were very busy, so these people were all switched off. So she purposely switched them and brought the quiet ones to the front.
So now I go there and talk. Yeah, sure. Here first. Go ahead. Yeah. That's a good question.
What was the question?
What happens when a fight breaks loose? Okay, everyone knows when alcohol is involved, you're going to be fighting, and 9 out of 10 times it is because of? 9 out of 10 times a guy will be fighting because of a?
Girl.
Thank you.
Girl in the picture.
Girl always in the picture. Can't live without them, can't live with them. I'm just kidding. No. There's a standard operating procedure. There's 28 bouncers in the club, in the entertainment, they're all on the walkie. They're alerting anything from some important people walking into the room and whether a fight's going to break loose. There are 3 exits in the club. Whichever the fight breaks closest to that exit is the door that bursts open and they get removed. Between the aggressor and the victim, the aggressor has to be removed. You punch me, you go out first. Separate the group first. If I don't see you, I can't fight you. Get them out of the ring. They go through the lift. It's actually the Sampa lift. It's the exit lift. Unfortunately, it's the fastest and the largest. And they are removed from the premises. The bouncers, 28 bouncers, have to get to the side and move them down. At the base of the building, there's police bantuan. Police bantuan, they don't have guns or whatever, but they will handle that situation and handing it over from security to bantuan. Bantuan can't handle, it goes to the Mutiara police. And if you still want to fight, you can sleep in the lockup. But if you don't want to fight, you can go to McDonald's Center Point and have supper. So we've done this a million times. Most of the time they end up in McDonald's having supper. But it's a valid question. It's a lot of it. With the alcohol, the anger, woman. You still have my girlfriend. Maybe she's beautiful. I'm looking at her girlfriend.
Maybe you can open a fight club.
Yeah, actually, you'll be so surprised. It's a business. In Singapore, they opened a fight club. A licensed fight club, where people who go to work every day and they're so angry and they can't beat up their boss, they actually come to a boxing ring and they train and they fight white collar boxing. Legal. Not really like fight club, like bare hands. But yeah, it's even a business. You see that? That's a business that can just grow from a simple idea.
Just like MMA.
Just like MMA, it's big now.
The fight. Wow. My
Yeah, create a fight club. There's a lot of these kind of little problems that you deal with.
Yeah.
To address your question and yours, there are some people who try to sell illegal substances within a premises, for example. We are not in that business, you know, and that's bigger problems to us. because it seems to the authorities that we are in that business, but we're not. We're not selling that. When people come in, because when you're successful, it's like that. You know your F&B business is successful when the lok shop open in front. Especially. I'm telling you, at the roof, we couldn't do supper very well in our steamboat restaurant, our Chinese restaurant, because the lok guy was in the front. These are also problems, no joke. How do you get rid of the lok guy? And they make a mess and they blame us. The landowner blames us. You know? But it is what it is. So there's all these little things on the way, that's fine.
Is it because of poor enforcement, right? How the fellow can...
It's bad enforcement, you're right. It's one of those that they're not even supposed to be there to make that mess, operating at that time. But, so yeah, any more? Go ahead, please. It doesn't have to be F&B related, it could be entrepreneurial.
Sure. If Dallas is listening as well, then you see it fight, right? Would it be a variety of styles of fighting, or just because of this possible?
When in the club, when you fight, it's just your creativity how they fight. They use ashtrays, bottles. I've witnessed girls fighting with no guys present. 2 girls were having a go at each other. No, not even. 2 girls just really angry and started fighting each other. Those are harder to handle. It's harder to handle 2 girls fighting because if you don't want to hold them wrongly, manage them wrongly. You guys just like be a bit rough, it's okay. So there is such issues like that. It's just nuts. But you know, when they're under the influence, it's a bit. You just gotta handle each situation in the right way. Yeah, fighting.
Was there any food fight?
The kitchen, yeah. In the kitchen, I had a chef throw a plate with food at the wall right next to me. I found that funny. He was not happy with the working conditions in the office, in the kitchen. Superstar. We meet all kinds of people. Threw the plate. I was not too far away and hit the wall because he was not happy with the working situation. And then finally we had a meeting and it was a bit hot in the kitchen, he said. So I was like, okay, we'll put in an aircon and some fan. You don't have to throw the plate. But he lost his job soon after. You get staff fighting? Staff fighting amongst each other? Yeah. And that's not good. We totally don't accept, especially when it's correlated to different religions or race. You know, like so many people, Bangladesh, Nepal, you know, we have Myanmar, people from all over, and they get cliquish. You get very cliquish, you can gang up on someone. So we have to watch that, to balance that out delicately, right? So they fight amongst themselves, but there's ways of handling it, warning letters, so on and so forth.
So it's more into people-related business.
It's very, very
People of
it's people related all the way. From the person who runs the job, the customer, it's all people business. Very fun.
Other than F&B, what other industry are you in?
After leaving advertising, because I worked in advertising. Towards the end, I didn't dare take the plunge of leaving my day job. So I still worked in advertising in the day, and then I'd go get ready and go to my F&B, the Tom, Dick and Harry's, right, come night. Till I was comfortable, then I went outright F&B. For me, it's predominantly F&B. It's my passion, my love. I understand it better. So I right now want to give a lot of my attention to that industry. I do have side projects like Live Juice, New Camp, but my main focus is on F&B. I feel that if I diversify too much, if I want to do something very different, I may lose my attention, my passion, my love for F&B. And those are like my babies. Those are things that I envisioned and built and grew and ran. So I can't release so easily. So to answer your question, I still work predominantly in F&B.
How do you balance? You have 3 outlets, right?
Yeah, there's also people we've hired. My younger brother is 7 years younger. He's the operations director of the group, manages about 150 people. 27 years old. Naturally, very trustworthy, very energetic. If you're feeling tired, if you're feeling like you just a bit losing that kind of like drive, it's okay to get someone in to rescue it. That's why I brought my brother in for that reason, because he's younger, he's got more energy, so he did that. Keeping good people, that's the most important. That's how you balance it. My mom heads procurement. Procurement's purchasing. There's only a few women I trust, so my mom is the one I trust. Procurement, everything, single thing that's bought, it will go through her department. She's not trained to do it. She learned to do it. She didn't own a laptop before this, but we taught her and we trust her. So, good people, that's why I'm here also. Good people, it's important. I've had people work with us for 6-7 years, right? I have a Bangladesh guy who was a runner. Runner means he gets a drink from there to there, no interaction. Now he manages a 1.1 million ringgit business. He runs the club. You can come meet him. He'll tell you the story. He has a car. He doesn't live in a room where he did with 10 people when he first came here. Mattresses on the floor. He has his own place. Just saying, he's trustworthy. You take float money. You're familiar with float money? Float money is before you start the business, you have $1,000, small notes, big notes, blah, blah, blah. You take the float money, you put additional 10 ringgit and you give it to this man. Okay bro, see you later. If he gives you back the 10 ringgit, you keep it. You have to try, you have to test, you have to find out, you have to learn. There's a million tricks, I can go on and on and on. The business, because it's cash business, right? It's people and cash business. People get greedy. Not everyone is a nice person. Not everyone you can trust. They're looking for they're opportunists. So you gotta watch out. But those are the kind of guys I trust. If not, I could not leave. I cannot go on a holiday. I can't sleep sound at night. So it's very important to identify the best people, right? And keep them, take care of them. It goes for any corporation. It goes for any company, any business. The people is what makes it, right? So yeah, shoot. Fighting again? Alright. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, his question is, a lot of my businesses are focused in the urban areas. How about rural? How about creating something? Okay, you could. Sekeping seindah, you know, it's like that, like resorts and stuff like that. You can build things like that. Like those kind of businesses you could. There is somewhere near Hulu Langat a restaurant. It's very interesting to me. They rear fish. It's called Fresh Farm or something like that. Fish and vegetables and everything. You know, and that's a business also. Destinational, good. The food is very good, quality, honest, people will come. It's doable. I am a very hands-on guy, super hands-on. The minute I wake up, visit the businesses, think, you know. So if it's too far away, may not be something I'm interested in. We have had offers in Penang, Iskandar. Naturally, after you've done good in Kuala Lumpur, what's next is Penang usually, Johor. Singapore has interest in what we do. believe it or not, as innovative as they are, and they're usually in this line of work ahead of us, they're interested in some of our concepts. Would you adapt those concepts there? Not necessarily easy if it's too remote, it's far away. Right now, to monitor things very closely, I like it very near to each other. Yeah. But I won't say no to the opportunity of maybe building something like that. It's also the nature of the business. Something far away, yeah, someone's spoken to us about things in Janda Baik. Yeah, it depends on the nature of the business. It can be done, yeah. Anyone? Yeah? Sean. Sean, right?
You said you invested 50,000, that's right?
Yeah.
So 50,000 to build the company.
15 and 5.
That's fine.
5 guys.
So you got all 5 guys in just 250K.
Yep.
How long did it take before you sold it?
For Tom, Dick and Harry's, because we did everything on our own, we spent 240,000. 3 months, we saw the money back. We saw the money back, but we lucked out a little bit. I don't know how familiar you guys are with a product called Whole Garden. Whole Garden is the beer with a really big cup. It was just about to be the hottest thing. And we were one of the pubs who had Whole Garden. And it became, on that row of Rahim Kajai 13, we were like one of the top ones there. So every night people would just come, like Mama's shop. They just come there. We got lucky because we didn't have to market it a lot. A lot of destinational places, you have to put a lot of money on marketing, Facebook advertising, flyers, all kinds I can go on. But we got very lucky then. But sometimes what you need is a bit of luck. But if you didn't build it in the first place, maybe you couldn't have got the luck. So we lucked out. People just came every night. They didn't have to call their friends, they'd come, they'd meet all their friends there. Every day people were there. It was unbelievable. And all 5 of us were in there. One guy's behind the bar, on the floor, in the kitchen. But we built, when I say we did it ourselves, we had a contractor there. And we didn't have an interior designer, architect, none of that. We just go buy the paint, buy the sink, and we slowly did that. And that made it, that was important, because when you go and put your blood, sweat, and tears into it, you work that much harder for it to work. That's your last 50. At 27 years old, to save $50,000 as a wage earner, it's your last 50. You're going to work like mad. Sleep is not much of an option because you don't want to fail. You don't have the money to fail. You built it yourself. You put your energy in it. You want to see it work. You have your 4 brothers with you. You can't let them fail. That's what was driving us. We didn't know any of it. Nothing. One guy was a salesman selling chemicals. I'm in advertising. One guy was selling cars. These are all guys I grew up with. We're just like, okay, we didn't know human resource, finance, purchasing. None of it. Spoke to our friends, did it every day. It's fun. But we needed to do that. If we didn't do that, how do we get to learn and see we've done it? We've tried, right? So the learning is very important. Very, very important. Right? So learn yourself. Don't think, not everything what people say is necessarily the truth. So yeah, go, yeah. Oh yeah, 100 days.
Yeah.
100 days, my God. John Ng is the editor of Men's Health. Funny guy. He shot Men's Health. He shot Men's Health with me. I was 26. 26 years old. Your body reacts differently when you're 26. Your metabolic rate and all. I had to realize that. So I needed to work extra hard. He said he'll give me 6 months. He looked at me, took off my top, and he's like, I give you 6 months to come back and see me. And I was like, I've got too many things to do. I can't focus for 6 months. Just give me 100 days. I knew about 100 days diet. He's like, really? He wasn't confident. So I wanted to prove him wrong. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I hadn't been to the gym since 2009. I went to Celebrity Fitness and they said, welcome back, sir. You haven't been here since 2009. It's like, okay. But my heart is good. My lungs are good. Okay, I don't smoke. I exercise regularly, I run. So that's important, the engine's good. So what I want to do, I can do. Now it's the mind. Tell yourself to do it. And then the knowledge. So I got supplements, nutritional knowledge. All I would eat is chicken breast, salmon, you know, cut the alcohol, vegetable juice, and I work at it. I kept going at it with determination. Because I knew in 100 days' time, I needed to shoot that. And that is no Photoshop, that is me. I have pictures in my iPhone. So, I mean, you can say, you're vain, or you're showing off, whatever, but if you went through 100 days of determination and you did that, I think you have a little bit of right to just post it on Facebook or something. At least, went through all that pain. But it's not just about, you know, like, vainness. It's that you can do it. That you believe you can do it. You set a goal, whatever the goal may be. I want to buy a house. I want to shoot men's health. Whatever you want to do. Follow through. I have a vision board till today. When I wake up, I stick it on the ceiling. It's a vision board of things that I want. I won't lie, a lot of these superficial things. But you still have to aspire for something. Right?
They all did vision board on week 1, the
Really?
first Saturday. So you want to tell them to pull it out and stick it where they can see it all the time.
I stick it on the ceiling because it's the first thing I see when I whip my eyes open.
Exactly, folks, you hear that?
Keep updating it. 1st of Jan, update it. It can be material things, it could be relationship goals, it could be whatever it is that makes you happy. I'm talking a lot about material here, okay? It's not a bad thing that you have that kind of drive. Drive a nicer car, bigger house, whatever. Whatever it is that drives you, you know what I mean?
How old were you when you bought your
First
first house?
house, 2001.
How
Didn't buy it, I paid mortgage.
old were you?
2001, 21. My first paycheck, I was living with my mom and dad. So I decided to take half of my paycheck and pay it to a small apartment. Because I felt that if I was paid 1,800 ringgit when I started working. And I knew if I had 1,800 ringgit, I would spend 1,800 ringgit. Or maybe 1,900 with credit cards. So I took 900 bucks, 1,000 bucks and chucked it. So I could never see the 1,000 bucks. As far as I was concerned, I had 900 bucks. Without going to my mom and dad asking them for money. My mom and dad were, they didn't come for money. Like my dad's from Brickfields. My mom's from Bentong, Pahang. Getting married, Indian and Chinese in the 70s, doesn't go down very well. Now it's normal. Mixed parentage is very normal. Right? So they quietly got married. They were studying in the UK and then got married and I was born. They came back. But it's what drives you. When we came back as a family of 4, we stayed in a room. Okay, we stayed in a room in the Lucky Gardens, and I remember it because it drives me. 4 people in one room, no car. Dad had a job, mom took care of 2 boys. 1987, my brother was born, 3 boys. So yeah, good. We're all good to my mom because she never had a daughter, so she keeps reminding me all the time. So what I'm saying is, those sometimes are the great experiences that drive you to do what you want to do. Right? So that's what should fuel you. Something wrong with it. Right?
Now, Roen,
Yes,
I just want
please.
to, before we wrap up, something very important that only you can do for us before you leave this room.
Hopefully.
Now, if you look here, you will see some Tapao King Future Retro Burgers, Go Ringan and Face designs. Last week, when we introduced them to the world of business, they had a whole afternoon workshop session on business planning. How to develop a very, very A to Z business plan, including coming up with your cash flow, your budgets, and what have you. So before that in the morning, I had actually asked people, how many of you actually want to be entrepreneurs? Out of the 28 in the room, 20 wanted to be entrepreneurs at some point in their life. Maybe immediately, maybe in the next 5 years, maybe later down the road, but the burning ambition is there. Now, then I asked them, those of you who are interested in doing your own business, come and share some business ideas that you have that you want to actually explore and develop as a full-scale business. And this, actually we had among them these ideas. So later when they're actually sitting, there are 4 business project groups at the moment. So we actually have Project Tapao King, which is over there, right? Oh no, that side, okay, yeah, Project Tapao King. Tapao King is there. Future Retro Burgers is over here. Gorengan is over here, and then Face Design is over there. But the interesting thing is that 3 out of these 4 are food-related businesses. So before we allow you to leave this room, can you, because after this they're going to workshop further on this idea. Today we had Janice here, who's a business coach in sales and marketing, to help them to bring these projects that last week they've already developed a plan, they've developed a cash flow, a budget, they more or less know their profit and loss situation. 2 of them actually ended up with losses at the end of the workshop, so that's the coach says, something's wrong with your figures, go back, work it out. And we found that their pricing was out, it's too low, so that's why they were losing money. So now, I would like each of them, the project lead, to just brief you on their project, and you just maybe give them a couple of tips that could just transform their business from just an idea on paper to something that's doable, because you turn businesses which came from your ideas into something that is operating live and happening as we speak. It's happening businesses. So we just want each of them to share with you, give them some tips before you go away, which then they can work on when Janice gets them. So shall we start with Gorengan? Share with Roen. Get the mic, come up to Roen and this is your chance to get the expert to give you tips to grow your business.
Okay, man. See you.
We are going on. Our business is based on jemput-jemput, okay, and maybe some non-pisang and all of that. Okay. We plan on launching model learning
Okay,
so
pay attention because your turn will come.
So that we can build a franchise. Okay. So our startup expenses is 28,000. Okay. Huh?
Is it shop or store?
It's like a mini shop, and then no seat, just bungkus lah, yeah.
In a mall or how do you see it?
In a mall. But the problem is, I try to discover the market price, the rental price in a mall. So it's between 1,000 to 8,000 like that. So our problem is trying to get a lower rental price lah. Okay. Okay. After that, okay, our monthly target is about 24,000. 24,000. Yeah. And then every day is 800 ringgit. Yeah. Our problem that we face now is how to market, how to macam package the food.
Teammates can help out also. Teammates can help with the question. This is your big chance to get some feedback from the expert.
How to package the food so that people will buy. And then because the food always sell in a lower price. So when you want to sell in a shop, in a shopping mall, so it needs to become higher, right? So how to clear the mind of the customers so that they will like to buy.
What is so special about this food? Why can't I go to the pasar taman and buy for 30 cents? Why is your jumbo jumbo more special than
Because the inti banyak, and then that's ID, and then we use fresh ingredients.
But you think that the product is something that you want to sell? Do you not consider a foreign trend, maybe you want to bring that and start to sell? And then you have something new in the market. I worry that with your product, you're competing with every corner shop selling this cheap. You know? Why don't you look at what is the next
The last one.
happening trend of food?
Idea.
You know, like when the donut craze hit Malaysia. Remember that? You all heard of J. Cole and all those guys. When they hit Malaysia, people were flocking, lining up. Yeah, Big Apple donut, J. Cole donut, all of them, Krispy Kreme. Look at the product, I feel. Unless, yeah, I don't see what's so special about your jumbo jumbo. You know what I mean? But yeah, the rest of that with the rental, yeah, you can get around that price. Your sales target is a bit low. If you target 24, you've got to take into consideration the staffing and all this. 800 ringgit a day is based on how many jumbo jumbo you're selling. Have you figured that out? How much do you sell with jumbo jumbo? As much? You have to think, how much? Because when you tell me you're going to sell 1 ringgit or jumbo jumbo or 2 ringgit, I may, if you try to tell that to my mother, she's not going to buy a jumbo jumbo. No matter what you tell her. All the people be like that. They might just go and buy the jumbo jumbo from, I'm not trying to be negative, from yeah.
I'm planning on macam buat jemput-jemput but new things.
Okay? Okay, that's it. Some special flavor,
Yeah.
something a little bit different. You work on that part as well. You have to put yourself in the shoes of a consumer. If I saw this ad, why am I spending my hard-earned money to buy this thing? Yeah? So, think of how you want to market.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, retro.
Retro.
Future retro.
Alright. Yeah, so now there's this burger trend, especially with KGB, my burger lab and stuff, and we also realized that there's this also another trend, especially amongst the kids around the 90s, is nostalgia. So we decided to create a new burger eating experience where the setting is very Jetson style futuristic.
Like a diner.
Yes, like a diner with chrome everywhere. Yeah, metallic feels, and we also want to pride ourselves on customizability of the burgers. And so it's really up to the customer's choice. So in this case, the customer is mostly right.
They always are.
Yeah. But we give them the illusion that they're always right. And we also, if possible, because we want to try and build a conveyor belt system, so there'll be no need for waiters. All the food will be served directly. So we
Like a sushi.
yeah, like a sushi thing. So it'll be very fast, futuristic. People like technology. So this is definitely appealing to younger generations, preferably 90s kids, 90s from the 1990 onwards. Or people young at heart, or people who basically people who grew up with the Jetsons and want something like that. We plan to. It's a bit too hard to flip this.
Teammates, self-out.
What's the startup?
Okay, the startup expenses is. We expect the startup expense to be around 49.7K because we're not too sure on rental and renovations costs because We don't have
in a mall or in a shop lot?
A small shop lot would be good, but malls would
Like KGB.
yeah, something like that. Because we don't want it to be too big. We don't want a lot of corner space.
Yeah.
We want it to be a very fast eating experience, and maybe a little corner, a little arcade corner play, so they can have kids while their parents eat and stuff.
Playground, small play.
Not a playground, but rather an arcade, because we want to make it futuristic and cool, hip. So you have like 8-bit arcades,
Yep.
Pac-Man and stuff like that. Yeah, and there'll be music,
Retro music.
retro, a bit of retro, and then maybe when you go to the night, because you have two main shifts. One is a more day shift, and the night shift is where the dubstep electro music starts getting played. So it starts becoming more hip and lively at
But
night.
that's contradictory to your retro concept.
Yes, future and retro. So the morning is more retro, is more bright retro.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We're aiming for the nostalgic elders and futuristic youngsters.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we try and cater for as many people as much, and also there'll be televisions playing episodes of the Jetsons and other old cartoons that people find interesting.
But you do know your idea has been stolen by Johnny Rockets, right? Before you go any further, Siswanto has opened the Johnny Rockets chain.
Where's that?
Pavilion, the Curve, owned by Ewan, is exactly that. That belongs to him.
So how
They
these
create
guys
that.
separate their goals?
The waiters and waitresses are made to dance.
Yeah.
They come out from the kitchen and they song and dance, and when it's your birthday, it's like they burgers and they dress like that. So I'm sorry to throw cold water on the idea. Go to Johnny Rocket, see what they've done, and improve on it. Nothing wrong with it. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but we also want to make it automated. So
Cool. That's what
that's our catch. The different thing.
Yeah.
Is that everything's automated, is robotic. So this
But is that
technology.
what the consumer wants? That means on the conveyor belt comes your burger. Is that say how fresh it is? Or is
Yeah, it's made in the kitchen, so it's still nice and steaming. But the thing is that people can pick it up, go. They don't have to deal with They don't have to deal with people.
yeah. True.
I guess
That's
it goes with
Directly.
the fact that you don't have to deal with the person and that conveyor is good, but we are in a country with foreign labor very cheap. Stuff like that is not too expensive. Your conveyor belt sounds expensive. With 48,000 ringgit, I think your conveyor belt alone might be that much.
Well, based on our pricing from Alibaba,
You guys have gone research.
yeah, we did a little bit of research on it. Did we not put it in?
Yeah.
That's okay. But yeah, we estimated around 33 feet of conveyor belt. It should be roughly 500 ringgit, according to Alibaba.
Okay, oh, it's
So cheap.
small one.
It's surprisingly cheap.
Okay.
Okay, time for Tapaoking. Come up to the microphone and explain your business concept, and how you plan to make this a hot selling business. And you can have more team members, don't have to be a solo thing, it's a group effort, so go up front to Roen and
Yeah,
present.
name. This is the most exciting name.
Tapaoking.
Exciting one.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good afternoon, evening.
Neng.
Okay, we are Tapaoking. Last week we decided that we shall do delivery services, and then we decided we shall go mobile. We shall, put it in a van and bring it to where people want. But we decided, why are we going to go mobile when we already have a store? We are going to open a kitchen. So we decided to stick to our kitchen, sell where our kitchen is. It doesn't have to be a very beautiful restaurant because our concept is Tapao, takeaway, simple food that people don't have to wait very long. Come, take, they can go back to their office. Our location that we're targeting is very near a very busy office space, or office area, and Health College is located there. Health College building, that's our location. It's inside the Metro Mall in Shiraz or Pudu, Metro Pudu. Okay, what was I supposed to say? Startup is going to be around 40,000. We minus the van, it was 60,000 before. With the van and remodeling, the van was about 20,000, so we removed it, now it's 40,000. And I'm sorry.
What are you going to tap out?
Okay, now for the product. We have two products. We have Arabic food, and Malaysian food, Asian food. Okay, Rose is going to talk to you about Asian food, so I'm going to pass the mic to her.
Alright, so Asian food. So I have an aunt, she's an Indonesian, so I will learn from her how to cook bakso. It's a very nice bakso because it's fresh. She made it every day fresh. And I think most of the restaurants in Malaysia make the soup not really fresh, and we can feel the ajinomoto in it. Yeah, and I wanted to make something different that people could enjoy the food every day. Yes.
Done.
Okay, thank you, Rose. So, coming back to Arabian food, we want to expand the stock, but to be realistic, to start up, we are going to sell shawarma. Have you guys heard shawarma?
Yeah.
Shawarma kebab. We were going to sell 6 ringgit 50 cents, but we decided to reduce the price, 6 ringgit, because it's an office area and also a college student area. So reduce the price since we are not going to go mobile. We can save around 50 cents and we can probably get more customers. We can at least have 2 purchases from students because they don't really want to sit down and eat. They prefer their college lounges compared to mama restaurants with no ventilation, no aircon. They prefer that. But sometimes they can't afford that. They can't afford Old Town every day. They can probably afford it once a week. Arabic food, there's time for expansion. We have idea. We are going to start this. We're going to sell the Arabic in the afternoon, in the morning, in the afternoon. Malaysian food, bakso, meat is going to be focused and kebab. But at night, it's going to be shisha. Have you guys had shisha? Yeah. Some people don't like it, but then they'll tolerate the friends who are smoking shisha because it's not cigarette. It's not really second-hand smoking when it's water vapor. Put the carpet down, put a shisha there. Let them sit down and have fun. We are saving space. We don't have to buy tables, we don't have to buy chairs. We provide clean spaces for them to sit down. They can get as comfortable as they want. We'll provide throw pillows, right? Throw pillows, yeah. Big, comfortable throw pillows.
Okay, Roen, you got any questions for them? Or?
You're gonna deliver the kebab. Will it get like soggy with all the sauce and
We are targeting the area that we are in. There are offices there. So we're going to market, we're going to advertise the area, that places. We're going to take delivery orders. We don't want to like, you call us and then we'll be there and the delivery is late. Every office, how many are there? Every day we go and check. By 11 we know every office's, this is our estimation, our plan. By 11 we know how many they need. By 12, 12:30 we can start cooking. We can cut the
40,000 is for the kitchen.
It's for everything. The kitchen, the oven, the machine, the pay, the utilities, and the rent.
Yeah, it seems feasible. People are looking for healthier food. There's a girl who does the tiffin carrier business. You must learn from her. So you know tiffin carrier? So you have very healthy food and she delivers it to you. And when you return the tiffin carrier, she holds the deposit. So that's quite unique. I think it's a little bit more unique than what you're doing because it's that nostalgic feeling of the tiffin carrier. So your serving method, you segregate the food, the rice is not wet, nothing. And it's kind of cool, right? And they bring it to you and then you can eat like how mom will cook for you. and then you return that. So she's doing okay with her business. You can check her out.
It's in
Facebook.
Malaysia.
Huh?
It's in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ellie. Her name is Ellie. She does this.
She comes in DRC.
Yeah. That's her.
It's like
So go see what she's up to, because that's a good learning experience. A lot of people, you're right, you've hit the nail on the head when you talk about people don't have a lot of time in the office and they want good cooking food like how mom used to do it, no ajinomoto, blah blah blah. That's it. You're right. Choose the right product, choose the right food, very wholesome, healthy, and it can work. A startup is low. You can rent a kitchen. Someone's off time, you can use their kitchen.
Is that possible?
That is possible.
Oh.
Our restaurant doesn't run, starts running at 5 o'clock. For signature, it runs at 5 p.m., for example. You could use that kitchen in the day and cut your overhead for $40,000, rent it out, and then use it and then deliver. So that's one more aspect to think of. Cut your overheads with, cut your capital of your startup, right? So it's that's why I say it's a very feasible, that's a feasible business. You could actually bring that to life. Try to focus, I don't know what the health college thing was about, I thought focus around office areas.
Yeah, because you get more price.
Central.
Yeah.
New Central, that area, CIMB, that, if you nail that, boom. If that business grows, set up a truck for visibility. If you get more money coming in, get a truck, brand it well, they know where to find you. So you can send to them and come to you. It's an advertising board.
Sure.
All the foot traffic they see, they'll try. Tell their friend. Best word of mouth. People talk about it.
And the truck would have a number on it.
The truck will have a
When
phone
you
number,
pass by the
and
truck, they
menu
take the
board,
number.
and
they
don't
call
try
up.
it today, try another day, and it can work. Yeah? So good job with that.
Good job. Now, Face Design is not a food business, but we believe in equity and equality here in the room. So I know you're in F&B, but then you're such a brilliant marketing, advertising man that you might be able to give Face Design a little bit of a shot. Face Design, very quickly, if you could just come and share what your business is all about, and maybe get some tips from Roen, how you can make a success of it. It's an online website type business, so.
Okay, so our group is doing Faye's business. I'm Faye. Okay, so the business is basically a web business. It's an online business selling craft items. The target market would be crafters, maybe art students, crafters, and also perhaps international based as well because it's an online business. So it's basically, the concept is basically that Malaysians don't have our own brand of craft items. For example, the things that, I'm a crafter, I do art and craft. Most of the things I get is based in the US. It's made in the US, made in China, and that kind of things. And it's really, really expensive to import into Malaysia. So I would normally get like one stamp set would be about 139 bucks, Malaysian ringgit. And for my idea, it's for locals it'll be much cheaper because we don't have to pay import money for them to import to our country. So it could be around like perhaps 50 to perhaps 80 ringgit sort of thing. So it's more accessible for Malaysians. We don't have to wait like maybe 20 something days just for the things to come, you know, because it's made in Malaysia. Okay, so the product is basically selling items like stamps, dies, papers for crafters who do like customized handmade cards, wedding gifts, birthday gifts, all that kind of stuff. So it's the benefit for the product is because there's a gap in the market here in Malaysia, because nobody's doing here in Malaysia. The one place that I know that has it is popular, and that's 5.90. Like they sell the stamp sets for 5.90 ringgit, and it's really, really bad quality. It's like a one-use thing and you throw it away. Yeah. So
so what do you see as your challenges that maybe you might want to just share? Any problem or challenges that you see that maybe Roen with his entrepreneur's lenses and you know, coming from a marketing and advertising background, might just lift you out of that challenges? Because your group has been talking about the issues, right? Maybe just share your challenges. We now know what your products are and how you want to market it, but what do you see as your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge would be to find the manufacturers, Malaysian manufacturers, for like stamping, the dyes, because like I said, there is no market here in Malaysia that does these things. So it's actually pretty hard to find those manufacturers as well, because first of all, I'm from a generation that looks up Google all the time. So last week we talked about looking through the yellow pages, and yes, a few days back I went and looked at the yellow pages in my house, and it was from 2010. Yeah, so it's not up to date, and you know, I tried looking up the things that the manufacturers that might be able to help me solve this problem, but it's really vague. You can't really find.
Sorry, is it a big enough market sector?
I believe it is, because even though it's a niche community, I'm actually targeting that niche community. Malaysians love to buy good quality stuff at cheap prices. And the only way we can purchase those stuff is through the US market or Singapore. And you know, even Singapore, it'll take a while for it to come. It's still a bit more expensive. So it's still nice to buy something that's locally made, and people will be able to say that this is from Malaysia. It's also to help boost the economy in Malaysia as well.
So the startup is very low because there's no physical storefront. But the expensive thing you feel is buying the materials.
Yes. Previously we talked about looking for manufacturers, but since it's sort of a crafting business, right? So I was thinking, you know, in the beginning it might be just a small amount. It might not be so beneficial to go to a big manufacturer that would probably ask you to manufacture in batches.
Yeah.
It'd be better to buy like maybe a machine that does these things from where we are.
How much are they given? Like
50,000.
50,000.
Yeah.
The business code from last week just said, I'm putting 50,000 in your table, come up with a business that you can manage with 50,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so for ours, I've actually calculated like the amount that we would need would be around 20,000. But overall, the amount that we would make throughout the whole year would be about 127,000.
Profit.
So that's why I
How do
believe
you
that
get
it
the
is.
word out? That's my worry without frontage. How do people know where to find you? There's a lot of clutter in social media.
Okay, first of all, there are a lot of craft shops in Malaysia. So I would be selling these items out to shops, putting them in shops as well. So it's
this is a business to business.
Huh?
This is you are going to go put your goods in all the craft.
Yeah, we're trying to be
it's
the
a website
supplier.
business.
You're the supplier. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought you're the. Okay, I thought you were selling to people. Yeah. Okay.
We do sell to people as well because we are a website business, but we are putting it out as well to shops.
Okay, but if you're a wholesaler, how are you certain your price is cheaper than popular? Where they're getting from? You know what I mean?
That's why we have to come up with very special design and very unique design.
Yes,
because people nowadays, they want personalized thing. They don't want I think everyone wants something unique. Like when you receive a card, you don't want something simple like just a happy birthday with a bear from any like shopping mall. You want something more special, and that's what we are targeting. We are producing the raw materials for the crafters. Yeah.
And especially because Malaysia, we have a lot of festivities that, you know, in the US, items don't have
so you
those.
assume like it's
celebration, you create a card or something to
It's
give.
not, we're producing the raw materials, like the design.
Yeah, the design of like the stamps, like maybe a Hari Raya design stamps where the Malay.
I understand it now.
Yeah. So it's basically trying to customize it to a Malaysian taste.
Yeah, I understand.
So it's pretty unique in a way.
Something to, if you had access to Photoshop, you can go and develop and create this. It's different, is it?
It is made using like Photoshop, Illustrator. It's basically creating the designs and making it into stamps.
Alright.
Yeah.
So it's the thought put into it. It's very personalized.
Yes.
You went and did all of that together.
Especially now in Malaysia, it's handmade wedding gifts that you give to other people who come to your weddings. It's actually a really big booming business right now. And
I think it can work. I don't know the numbers in that game. I would assume the first place to visit is China. Because China just does everything cheaper than everyone else in the world. So if you want to compete on that front, it would probably be buying from China and supplying to.
But would you say doing that on the first run a good idea? Because like normally if you're going to factories, they'll be asking you to buy in big batches and you know.
Yeah, okay, probably not at the start. With 50K, you'd probably, like you say, get off the unique US websites and all that, and then slowly seed your way into it probably. And then ultimately you'd be looking at getting mass from China.
Because the amount that I stated earlier was from, let's say if I get the machine to create the thing myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the machine can create all of it.
We're thinking of using the, what was that strategy? The Kaizen strategy, where you start small and then you do bigger things. Like we start in one area, like perhaps stamps. Then once we get like enough capital to do another thing, then we'll branch out and that kind of thing.
But would that work if you just had that, just stamps, as opposed to launching this with a whole lot of variety, but not going to so many places, but just start with popular, let's say. So instead of trying to have presence in so many outlets, you have a very good range, but just target to like popular first. So I worry, if I want to get a product, but all you have is one variety, you know, it's like going to Starbucks and there's just one type of coffee. I don't know.
Well, basically, that's the whole point of an online website, I would say, because you can start how small, how big. There will be people who like it, who buy it, even if it's one person. The thing is, the designs wouldn't be just one design. It'll be like a whole range, sort of like the branded kind of thing, like branded clothes. You have a whole line of it. Yeah. So it'll sort of be like a few designs every month comes out like that, and it's very customized. So
understood.
Yeah. So it's also copyrighted, so other people can't make that design. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My best advice is get your numbers. It will be a serious numbers game. When you're talking about wholesale, being a wholesaler and manufacturing. It works. If you find a void in the market, you think, and you're passionate about it, I can tell you're passionate about it. That helps. Just make sure your back end is tight.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.